Or what is... Oh, it's just headless. Okay.
And Uncle says if it's a Kansian seed, he's quitting. So hopefully he doesn't quit.
Is this randomized swords? Uncle did not have a weapon.
I guess it is randomized swords. No worries then. Oop. I saw a 6 crystal at Eastern, and I saw a regular crystal at Hera, and I think I saw the red pendant in Desert there.
I think your eyes are a whole lot better than mine, because, I mean, I seem to think that as well down on Sinhei's side. We'll be able to see. So what weapon are we going to start with today, other than the...
Pyromancer. Pyromancer. Come on. Oh, the bow. That's
Archer class to start with. Yeah, that does make Eastern Palace just that much more attractive to start off with, doesn't it?
Okay, it looks like we were being correct. Somebody says they saw a green pendant on Desert. Fair enough.
There's nothing important between the green pendant and the red pendant, is there, Duke? There's nothing important at all, is there?
Oh my, that is completely incorrect. That green pendant nets you an additional item off of Sahasrara. Just like in the vanilla game, when you complete Eastern Palace, he'll give you the boots. In this game, give him the green pendant, he'll give you something. We just don't know what.
He's charitable like that. He really just wants you to defeat Ganon quickly.
Yes.
Only if he's holding something of value, that's always an interesting play that some people can end up making. So it does look like we have all runners already with our first bomb as well, so not even having to do a whole lot of bomb farming either.
That's always a good sign. So the reason we say that, noting that the players have a bomb, is that there is a bombable wall in the escape sequence that nets you 3 chests. If you don't get the bomb in your initial playthrough of the escape, you either have to run back the escape again, or you have to have the power glove to take a drop down next to the sanctuary to fall into the room where that bombable wall is. Conversely, you can also get the boots and bonk that wall because it is a shatterable wall with a force.
Yeah, that particular wall is an instance where you don't necessarily feel ahead if you have a bomb or are able to get it through, but you absolutely feel behind if you have to come back for it at any point in time. You doubly feel behind if you have to come back through and your first and only lift upgrade is behind there.
Yep. That's totally not happened to anybody.
No, that's never happened to anyone in the history of Randomizer ever.
So we're going to see a lot of 4-arrow dispatches here of the ball and chain guard. And we're just syncing up the streams here just real quick.
So far, a pretty competent escape sequence for most of those. The bow and arrow is really nice to get through. You can dish out quite a bit of damage, and you don't have to wait for a lot of things. The ball and chain guard in particular can really be a time sink if you don't have any other weapon other than having to run back and forth with pots. So we'll see some pretty decent escape times for these runners.
Yep. Probably even with the detour into the room, I'd probably say about a 6-minute escape wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And of course, the runners who are already up top don't need to worry about farming anymore because they've already got some bombs. Although Roach seems to be killing some extras, and he has a second bomb. Sinhei also has a second bomb there. It will be interesting to see because that does allow for a few extra things that you can do once you're topside.
Yep, that is always a good case. Ideally, I think if I remember correctly, ideally you want to have about 6 bombs going through the entire escape sequence, because I think that nets you everything you need, at least for the early game. Trying to think, we have the bombable wall and escape, we got Kakariko Well, Blind's Hut, we got Mini Mold Worm Cave, Ice Rod Cave, and Agina. I believe that's all of them.
I mean, that's all of them. Although the only one that's like feels mandatory is this one, because you do have access to a shop that sells you bombs. It's a little bit out of the way, not quite as sufficient to get through here once you're in Kakariko Village.
Oh, yep, I'm being reminded of a couple more. Chicken Hut and Race Games. There were actually 8 bombs. But yes, there is the bomb shop there, but then you also run into the fact that, well, you need money for the bottle vendor, and then, of course, we got King Zora himself, who does still sell you an item at 500 rupees, but most of the time it's a ripoff.
Ooh, early mirror, blue mail, and the silvers to go along with that early bow.
Triple upgrade. That is unique. I don't think I've ever seen 3 useful items in the escape in that part.
No, I don't think so. The other thing worth noting, I don't think we found the map anywhere through our escape sequence, so I believe that means the map is going to be in this last treasure chest in the sanctuary. We'll see who skips it.
Yep, I did not recall seeing a map. Chloe did not remember. Let's see if Sine and Plasma remember.
Plasma remembers. Sinhei remembers. Roach remembers.
I think Roach was doing the quick mirror warp out.
That's super interesting. Yeah, Roach mirror warped and then said, "Oh, I don't want to be here."
Yep. So fun little movement tech that Roach did right there. Since when you do your save and quit and restart in the sanctuary, it treats your entrance to sanctuary as the front door, so you can just instantly mirror to the front door instead of having to walk down. So. And we have a lamp in the dam. Nice.
Yeah, Sinhei is opting to avoid Kakariko Village for now, using some of these Pink Kitty Rose strats, I think, avoiding Kak early. Looks like your Tier 2 tree pull was 4 bombs, so don't have to worry about bombs at all at this point in time. I did not see what Plasma showed us for the Lumberjack glitch to see if it was required.
I missed it myself, but Roach is going in, so let's go ahead and take a look, and just 10 arrows.
All right, so Sinhei is going to be showing us all the goodies here in Mini Moldorm Cave. He has, I mean, a full stock of silver arrows. I mean, sometimes the Moldorms can not play nice, but, you know, it's not bad.
Power Glove. Hammer.
Oh my god.
Bombos. And 300 rupees. That is humongous.
Yeah, this is a really nice setup. He's got 2 of his 3 items required for Dark World access already before he even gets to Kakariko Village. He may, if he finds the Moon Pearl in Kak, I mean, he could turn around and just start doing Dark World stuff right away, which is going to be huge from a routing perspective. That gamble from Sinhei paying off, and he's even continuing on!
I do not blame this. 2 reasons behind this. He only has 1 bomb. I think he wants to save his rupees, though. That's what I'm thinking. He's saving his rupees for Zora, since he has access to Zora at this point with the glove.
Basement of Blind's hut is, I mean, just a whole lot of nothing, but using that mirror very effectively and clearing everything out. Ether Medallion, also. Chloe finds another 300 rupees in the well. We'll see what else we find in the well. There's the Moon Pearl. Absolutely. We have our Dark World access.
Wow. Early Dark World.
Magic powder as well. Let's go ahead and do the magic bat while we're over here.
We're just missing a bottle. This is crazy. And Sene going straight into Eastern, and I can't blame him. It's completable.
Yeah, it's completable. And in logic between having the bow and the lamp, he's reading hard into this seed, saying, yes, I can do this. I'm going to go ahead and do it.
Flippers in the chicken coop.
Guys, who rolled this seed? We need a refund on this seed. This is too fast. We're not going to get enough rando today.
Nah, we're gonna get a super trolly ice rod location. That's what's gonna happen. Turtle Rock required, ice rod just super heavy. 50% refund off the bottle vendor. That's not too terrible.
Is that horrible? Chloe's going to be the first one to show us what's down here in the library, and in the race sledge looked like a full heart container. And the wind-up? Was that a shield?
I did not catch that. Saved and quit, so it's nothing of merit, so...
Alright, so Chloe and the other runners are sticking with a pretty standard route, and of course...
Fire rod.
Because...
Wow.
They don't... No, this is not fair. I never get these seeds in races.
This is just insane. And I believe that is all 3 items, yeah.
Yeah, 3 items, so he's done. He's going to go over here into this mini rupee room and go ahead and farm up some extra rupees. It does look like he has Zora in the back of his mind, not knowing that there's 2 300 rupees in Kakariko Village once he heads over there. So a little bit of wasted time. Nothing that he could have known, but based on his knowledge, it's a solid play either way.
Alrighty. So all the other runners are converging on the spots that Senehe has already grabbed.
And that makes quite a bit of sense. I mean, this is pretty standard routing when it comes to the community. Senehe is just being a bit of a madman right off the bat here. Although I can't say I'd necessarily blame him, because it's really paying off for spades. He's going to be able to do things much more efficiently in Kakariko, and he'll be able to even go right into the Dark World if he so desires from there.
That is so true. Easy dispatch of the Armos Knights.
Wait, I blinked.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, those silver arrows shred those things like a hot knife through butter.
Chloe showing us something different here. With those early flips, he's going to be checking out some of the flipper locations, the hobo, as well as maybe a check up here to Zora. Has the rupees for it.
That would not surprise me.
Plasma going over here to Ice Rod Cave as well. That's going to be something new.
Senehe, okay, he's getting his bombs. That's what he's doing. Taking the hilly island.
Yep.
Little does he know the flippers are close by. Ooh.
And Chloe with the hammer opts to avoid going anywhere. So we have Dark World access first from Chloe. Looks like the red and blue pendants are in Ice Palace and Swamp Palace. And here's Hype Cave. I mean, I don't know how much more hype we can get.
Yep. Let's see if Hype Cave lives up to its name. $20. It's not bad. Bombs. Bombs are good. But unfortunately, we'll put an IOU on this.
To be determined.
We'll put an IOU on this.
Can I say it? Am I allowed to say it now?
Sure.
Do you want to do a fetch quest?
It doesn't have to be a fetch quest.
Yeah, value yet to be determined. We cannot assign a grade yet. We don't know what that mushroom turn-in is going to be quite yet.
Yeah. Current value is 1 out of 10 if we're using whole numbers, but it could skyrocket up to like a 7 out of 10. We'll see.
Sinhei still avoiding Kakariko Village. You know what? I don't necessarily blame Sinhei for avoiding, because he's like, I found all these awesome things. There's no way that there's any value to be had in Kakariko. Yes, there is, Sinhei.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see if this pays off.
Yeah, Plasma is going up to Zora. I did not see what was in the Waterfall of Wishing there. It doesn't look like there was anything of value there.
Waterfall was 5/4 of a heart.
Heart
container and a piece.
Meanwhile, Chloe is going over here, going to be opening, and this is honestly really a pretty good play, going ahead and opening up Dark Palace.
Wow.
We know Palace Darkness is required.
Complete pod. Why not?
And with the mirror, can just mirror and do what Sinhei's already done and route it in together. All right, so Sinhei is going to be climbing here the Tower of Hera, which is another crystal. The problem is that he's really got to maximize these spots. He's going to have access to all of the east side of Death Mountain. Still doesn't have Dark World access. He's got to get back to Kakariko Village to get that Moon Pearl.
Yep. And we find the Cane of Samaria in pod. That's another item on our wish list that we needed.
Absolutely. It would be required for both Turtle Rock and Misery Mire. Also, the right side of Ganon's Tower, although there are a handful of seeds where sometimes that cane is not required.
Oh, yeah. But unfortunately, with both Mire and Turtle Rock being required, kind of need it.
Ever so slightly. So it's interesting to note, with that cane being found in the front half of Palace of Darkness, remember, 4 of the first 6 chests in Palace of Darkness are required to be small keys. So we already know that, you know, where one of them is, so most of the rest are probably going to be small keys, which means that center location in the vanilla big key spot likely to be just another key, so we'll be able to skip it.
Yep.
You know, it's interesting. We found so much value between all the different locations that we've checked. You know what we still haven't found yet?
I don't see a pointy stick.
There is no pointy stick. No swords yet.
The only pointy stick I see has feathers on the end. And you need a bow with it.
Yeah, you cannot go full Legolas and, like, stab anything in the eye with an arrow. It does not work.
That needs to be a thing. I'm sorry. It needs to be a thing. Or at least be able to use the shovel as a weapon or something. I don't know.
Hey, I'm all about blunt objects, you know. Shovel, mace, same thing. Question in chat. Jerson, anyone know what the record time for this seed is? Well, this is the first time it's ever been played. I'm presuming you're referencing specifically this mode, the standard mode randomized swords. At which point, I think during the tournament there was like a 104, I believe.
Sounds about right. All right, Sinhei coming up on Mold Worm. Hammer strats, 3 hammer shots on the tail will take him out. Just don't fall.
Yeah, he will ruin your day for falling, but Sinhei's a pro. He's got it done and is rewarded with just 5 arrows.
5 arrow capacity upgrade, but more importantly, his second crystal. And we have the Ice Rod.
Where
in pod.
Ice Rod's in pod.
Ice Rod in pod. So we had the Ice Rod in pod. We had the Fire Rod in Eastern.
Oh,
we got Samaria in pod.
Oh god.
We're just missing the mitts.
Oh god,
we're Titan mitts for Turtle Rock. Oh geez.
We have all the items except Titan's mitts for early Turtle Rock access. No, I don't want an early Turtle Rock dive. Although it could be necessary.
You know, I'm taking a look here. Ice Palace, when we get the mitts, is doable. Swamp will be doable when we get the hook shot. And if we find the hook shot before we find the flute, we have a chance at a pedestal seed.
Oh, I see boots were collected somewhere. Did someone say boots? Oh, boots on floating island. Okay. You guys maybe look.
Oh, so mitts. Oh, so the mitts are. So the boots are mitts locked. Interesting.
You know, it's really interesting with these sort of wide open seeds where you're given access to so many different locations all at once. It really is kind of a crapshoot. Where do you choose to go? You can choose the high percentage plays, of course, and trying to make things as efficient as possible. But that's not to say that it's the right choice to make at any given point in time. We thought Sinhei made a great choice going to Eastern Palace first, but he's avoided Kakariko up to this point in time. Chloe's able to route both Pod and Eastern in together, making a larger efficiency with the time given to them.
Yep. All right, let's see what's in our good friend, the Paradox Cave. There's the mitts. Sinhei will be the first one with boots. Wow.
No, he won't, because he never had the Moon Pearl.
That's right, he doesn't have the Moon Pearl. No, I forgot about that, yeah.
Oh, this seed.
So as of right now, we are missing the hook shot, potentially Quake, and the flute, and 2 swords. That is all we're missing.
The fact that we're this deep in and we still don't have any swords is kind of amazing.
Yeah. I did see a comment earlier in the chat that said all 4 swords in Ganon's Tower. Unfortunately, that cannot happen because you have to have a sword to activate the medallions. And since Turtle Rock and Misery Mire are crystals, we have to have a sword at least to get there. Yeah, but there could be 3 swords in Ganon's Tower.
Absolutely. Now, there are 3 different dungeons that do require swords. In addition to those 2, you are also required to have a sword to get into Skull Woods. You have to cut down a curtain, remember?
Yes, that is correct. Vines blocking the route. So now I'm actually thinking the only feasible way to have 4 swords in Ganon's Tower is to have pendants at Skull, Mire, and Turtle Rock. Oh man, that would be a very nasty seed to see.
You know what? That's the dream. You know, everyone wants to see, like, you want to see Hammer Fairy, you want to see like these super low percent. Everyone wants to see a pedestal seed. Nah. I want to see all 4 swords in Ganon's Tower. That's the dream.
Yep. I can actually say I've ran a seed where there's been effectively 3 swords in Ganon's Tower. Because there was 1 sword on Magic Bat, and the powder was in Ganon's tower.
You. All right, Sinhei about to find his Moon Pearl, and we'll go, well, maybe he doesn't feel... I mean, I'm sure he felt great after some of the gambles he made, and he will be the first one, if he wants to do the Magic Bat now, he'll be the first one to have access to that. But he may not feel quite as ahead as he did when he first started out this run.
I would agree, but at the same time, I'd be like, I have all this stuff, and we're only 25 minutes in. Yep, he's instantly gonna go get his boots. And Dark Death Mountain.
Did he even, like, do Chicken Hut or anything else? He just like, nope, I'm good.
He did not do Chicken Hut.
I don't recall what was in the rest, but that's risky, isn't it?
Yep, because the Chicken Hut had his flippers, if I remember correctly.
He, so, you know, the only thing I can think of is he's really leaning on his early plays, and he knows he's probably the first one with access to Dark Death Mountain and to get those boots. So he's gambling hard on his early plays and saying, hey, if I miss something, then I miss something and I lose. The problem is we know he missed something.
Yep. Got some pretty good sync between Roach and Chloe here. Ooh. Yeah, chat bringing up a point. Flippers with glitches is not required. We can fake Flipper into Ice Palace. And since Swamp is a...
Swamp and Ice are both pendants.
Oh, that's right. Ice is a pendant also. So yeah, we don't...
Unless something is in Swamp Palace that we'll need. At this point, I can't imagine what could possibly be in there. Flute.
Flute. Sword. That's about it. Bottle. We're still missing a bottle for the fetch question. Shovel. 4 book. If we're putting all the fetch quests in.
Oh my goodness. So Sinhei will get his boots. He will be the first one to go fast.
All right. And while we're here, let's do Dark Death Mountain. You can get 1 chest in Hookshot Cave.
Does Sinhei know how to hover? Oh, there's our bottle.
I don't know, but there's our bottle.
All right, both Roach and Chloe. Yeah, that sync. Man, they are doing amazing right now. So Turtle Rock is Bombos. We did have Sinhei check that out while he was up here. He's going to be getting the full magic meter. And where are you going now, Sinhei? Dark World something.
Probably Pod.
Yeah, that's a good play. All the other runners, I think, have completed it, or Roach is just now stepping in.
Ah, Hype Cave in the Pod, yeah. So unfortunately, the value of Hype Cave, if we're using whole numbers and we have to assign a number greater than 0, Hype Cave was a 1. That mushroom did not fruition.
Absolutely not. No. While the runners are kind of running over each other's steps, just wanted to plug everything else going on today and for the rest of the evening on the Speed Gaming Network of channels. We have a Portal tournament or a Portal race on Speed Gaming 3, looks like at 3:30 Eastern. That's about an hour from now. Over on Speed Gaming 2, we have the Donkey Kong Country All Stages tournament going on Speed Gaming 2. That's at 4 o'clock. Later tonight, man, we have it's just coming at your face all over the place. Super Mario Galaxy is going to be on Speed Gaming 3 at 7 o'clock. We have also Super Mario Galaxy at 7:30 right here on Speed Gaming 1. Sonic Adventures 2 at 8 o'clock on Speed Gaming 2. Mega Man 2 Randomizer at 8:30 over on Speed Gaming 5. And then on Speed Gaming 4, Super Metroid and ALTTP Randomizer Hard, and that's going to be on Speed Gaming 4 at 9 o'clock. There's just all your Speed Gaming action on this network and all the Speed Gaming Network channels.
Yep, lots of games.
Victor Van Dyke asks in chat, are they all playing the same seed? Yes, this is the same seed. They are all playing the exact same thing. So we will know where certain things are that Roach will find here in Palace of Darkness because a couple runners have already beaten it.
Okay, so taking a look at the item layout, unfortunately we have full Turtle Rock access.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. We have Mitts, Fire Rod, Ice Rod, Hammer, and Can of Samaria.
We're missing...
Between all items found. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, we are missing a sword to open up the Jaws of the Beast. So,
that's
almost.
Right. We are missing that. I apologize. I missed that. I'm not used to 30 minutes no sword. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's a fair point. We're not used to being 30 minutes in without a sword. There's 4 of them in there, we swear. They have to be in the game somewhere.
It's turned into a half Super Metroid Rando where they're all on planet Zebos.
Man, that's a randomizer I have not been able to get into as of yet. Mostly because Super Metroid scares the bejesus out of me with some of the logic that requires.
I can't even do the simple tricks in that game, so...
Yeah, I know. I'm like, wall jump? What?
Well, I can do the wall jump. That's like the easiest trick. That's about it, though.
It does look like Roach seems to be taking some hits to set up a death warp. Although, you know, Roach, you have the mirror.
Well, he did go into that hallway with only 4 hearts, so that would be a strategic refill.
Strategic death. Okay, I can deal with strategic death.
I mean, it's only 1 extra heart, but 1 heart can save you.
1 heart absolutely can. So we're finally getting some other runners up on Death Mountain. Chloe and Plasma are both making the trek up Death Mountain. You know, Sydney's invested heavily in Death Mountain. They will find the Titansmiths up here. You know, at this point in time, where else can our next kind of progression be? We can get into Swamp Palace once we have, I mean, but Skull Woods we haven't touched. Thieves Town or the Village of Outcasts we haven't really touched yet either, have we?
No, I would actually go to the village personally. Reason I wouldn't go to Swamp, you can only complete half of it. I wouldn't go into Skull Woods is like the weird exception to this rule, since it's a multi-part dungeon. I wouldn't mind going into at least the front half of Skull Woods with what I have. See if I can find 2 items.
Yeah, I can see, like, starting in the south, like, kind of looping around, doing K45 and Stumpy and the Dig game, and kind of working my way up north, hoping that you find a sword between there and when you would need it in Skullwoods. All right.
Those darn terrapins, always annoying.
Those terror pins. You know, never let it be known that there wasn't someone who enjoyed puns when they were naming things when Link to the Past was done. Terror pin. It's amazing. So both Chloe and Plasma on their way to the basement have to get the big key there. Both taking a bit of a coffee break.
Yep. Unfortunately, it is the vanilla big key.
All right.
Okay.
We're getting close to some convergence here where everyone's just kind of on the finishing end of what everyone else has done. Any lead that any runner has had has pretty well evaporated. I would say Sinhei and Chloe are probably have a little bit of an advantage just from their execution at this point in time, but they're getting close to running out of options. I find it hard to believe that no one, at least on our stream, has done Thieves Town yet.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising, just considering what's available. Because we have 7 items in the Village of Outcast Thieves Town area. And it's fully completable since we have the hammer. So we don't have to worry about orphaning the big chest item if there is an item in there.
Keep in mind, we do have, I think it's around 25 people in this particular daily race. So we have featured 4 runners. That's not to say that someone else who is running this particular seed is not also doing exactly what we're talking about and is in a much better position. If someone ends up finishing before any of our featured runners, we'll go ahead and mention that as well.
Yep. Alright, Sine, you're probably going to Pyramid and routing up to the Witch's Hut and Catfish. What do you do after that? I don't even dare try to guess what he's going to do because he's been doing his route and it's been working for him. So
yeah, at this point it's going to be doing a little, I mean, who knows? He's also the only one right now who could route that kind of north route together. If he goes into the light world, he'll be able to do King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks. He won't be able to get over without the hook shot in the dark world, so he can't route the Graveyard Legend with that. And here's the thing with Sinhei, man, do you... I guess if you have the powder, there's no reason to save the mushroom for fake powder, so...
You're correct. And Roach going to be getting the bad news that he has to do the coffee break. It's always a gut-wrenching feeling, seeing a small key and then opening the chest and getting not the big key, and it's like,
It's true. But on the flip side, if you have to do it, everyone has to do it. So
yep.
It's annoying, but at least you're like, I'm not losing any time to this. Sinhei checking up here. Yeah, he's routing Zora in together. I gotta think he's gonna do a save and quit out of here. This is an out of the way place to run back from.
I think I might be tuned into what Sinhei might be doing. I think he might do a save and quit, start at Link's house, and do Dark World, starting from K45, doing that south route into Village of Outcasts, dropping off the blacksmith and completing that part before doing Village of Outcasts, and then potentially finishing the blacksmith chain, but we'll see.
We'll see. Plasma just picked up his Titan's mitts as well, and Chloe's going to be right behind. So any lead that Sinhei has from his early takes is evaporating right now.
Mm-hmm. And I was completely wrong. He started there, but he's going in the King's Tomb. Just a quarter heart, so nothing good there. But he's going to probably check Bonk Rocks at this point.
Yep,
Question in chat. Why is it called K45? Quite literally, that's what it's been labeled. I think it was Ian Albert's maps. I think I could be wrong on the name, but when he was like basically making maps, getting like all the bit maps and everything for the game, and it just so happens that one was just named 45.
I mean, every cave had a name. So Cave 1, Cave 2, Cave 3, blah, 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 blah. Cave 45 just came about because there wasn't a good name for it, like Hype Cave or anything like that. Like Hype Cave has a cave number associated with it to that same map. But, yes, some odd reason K45 just stuck.
Yeah. We do also, some people do affectionately call it the Grove Ledge. So it does have a name, but we just like K45.
Oh, hey! One Trollorm strikes again, and Sinhei finds the book in the treasure chest game. That does give us access to Desert Palace, as well as that wonderful green pendant.
Ooh. And that gives us information.
What kind of information?
That we have 3 different pieces of information that book can give us. If he wanted to go check out the Bombos tablet, it would tell him what's on it. If he wanted to go check out the Ether tablet, it would tell him what's on it. He could also check the pedestal, and it will tell him what's on that too.
I think for those folks who are hoping beyond all hope that the pedestal has something, the only thing that's left for you at this point in time is either a sword or the flute.
Yep, sword or flute. I believe we checked Bumper Cave, so Cape is out. Actually, no. Have we checked Bumper Cave? I think that's still a wild card.
Bumper Cave is a wild card. It's also interesting to note.
Nope, never mind. I was thinking of another item, but we actually technically can get through it by brute force. I was thinking of Spike Cave for a second. We needed an invulnerability item.
I think logically we still need an invulnerability item, don't we?
I want to say yes, but I think if I remember correctly, it was I think you needed to have 2. Oh no, yeah, you do. You do. I was thinking another backdoor route on that one.
So it is interesting and worth noting on Sinhei's side, he came in. Still, he hasn't done Chicken Hunt yet, which has the flippers, of course. He also hasn't turned in the bottle that he has with Sick Kid.
Might be doing that after getting Thieves Town done.
All right. Well, Sinhei is halfway through Thieves Town. Plasma is now in the vicinity. Chloe looks like is rounding out some of this overworld completion, and Roach is still on East Death Mountain.
He'll be getting his boots shortly. That's at least the good sign.
And I haven't been keeping track of items here in Thieves Town. There are a total of, I believe, 4 items here in Thieves Town. Haven't seen anything of terrible value up to this point in time.
Nah, I've seen a compass, so I don't recall if I've saw the map yet, so we do have at least one more item. Actually, we're missing a small key also, since he does not have a small key at this point. So, if this chest does not have a small key, I know where that small key. We know where that small key is.
Absolutely.
And that means the big chest needs to be done.
Yeah, the logic in these dungeons effectively presumes that you use your keys in the dumbest way possible. So in this case, you would use the key from upstairs, take it downstairs to use for this, and do all sorts of weird things. Map there, so I think at this point we can assume Blind has our last item here.
That would be correct. Those conveyor belts are not working out well for Senna, and he's just like, nah, I'll just go this way.
At some point, you just have to realize that sometimes the conveyors aren't on your side. He's doing the ultra new strat of this is how you kill Blind now, is falling down a hole with her.
That should work.
And man, these ultra pro cane strats on Blind.
I love Samaria strats. They're so fun. The only thing we will say is be careful, because you can despawn the prize if you're not careful.
Yeah, that can be rough. But Sime does it like a pro.
Arrow upgrade. So nothing of value in Thieves Town, really.
This makes me a little bit nervous. Do you continue on south to collect those other areas, or do you head on north? There's 2 items possibly in Skull Woods before. I mean, my goodness, and he still skips them. He is skipping out on both the sick kid.
Oh no! I think what he's gonna do. I think he's gonna do the dig game and come back up with the blacksmith. So not necessarily skipping, but just prolonging it. Okay, that's a smart move. You never checked race game, so mirror there first, and then if there was an item on that race game ledge, he would end his digging game on the right side, mirror, and then go do the race game.
Long digs and
big
just
20.
big 20.
So it will take everybody the same number of digs to get that same prize. He's gonna get his library check. I think this is when he cleans up Kakariko at this point.
Lots of bouncing back and forth between the light and the dark world, though.
Yeah, a little bit of inefficiency, but it gets the job done. This is gonna be our sick kid check, I think. Yep.
Yeah, it looks like he's finally going to do the sick kid check. Man, if those flippers end up hiding something, he's been fortunate so far with the flippers. But man, if they're hiding something, and Swamp Palace. That could be big.
Yeah, and that's the only place that can hide something that would hurt him.
So here's an interesting thing. We use the Japanese 1.0 version of the ROM because it allows us to do things like the hammer dash, which is really helpful in this particular portion that Senhei's in. However, the hammer dash doesn't work if you don't have a sword.
Yeah, that's one of those weird programming things. We always joke this is a well-programmed game. But you also have to keep in mind, this game was like 1991, I think. So back then, yeah, it was well programmed back then. We're just finding we have swordsmiths. We have the sword.
Vanilla sword. What? Okay, that's good for Senhei. I mean, about time.
Now the game has opened up a little bit.
I mean, a little. Not really. I mean, we can now actually do Snowbloods.
That opens Turtle Rock, unfortunately.
Oh, right. Yeah, that.
And the bittersweet thing about Turtle Rock being accessible, it is the second half of the Pyramid Fairy.
Oh no.
Yeah. We'll see.
And it looks like both Chloe and Plasma are
Bastard
right behind
sword!
What? No, that's not fair.
Well,
we need at least 10 minutes to figure out what we're going to do with the regular sword.
That opens up everything. We have everything but Mire area accessible at this point. With what we know. I think Senhei's going to T-Rock.
I mean, yes,
this would not surprise me.
Clearly going there, and he has the book. He should be checking. Yeah,
he's going to check Ether on his way too. This is actually a very smart play, as I said, because we got the Pyramid Fairy, which grants us an additional 2 items. So Turtle Rock in this instance is worth 7 items. Can't really say no to that.
Well, 8 if you include Mimic Cave as well, which we do have access to.
That is correct, Mimic Cave.
And to think, he still hasn't done the Chicken Hut.
I know. Chloe and Plasma are going to be getting their swords very shortly. Ooh, Red Mirror, thank you. That's actually insightful. That might be the actual case. So what he said in chat, somewhat of a guess, but the reason why item dashes don't work without a sword is probably because swordless boots do not produce a hitbox, but boots with sword do. And the item dash, you can overlap the hitbox of the item with that of the sword. So that's probably exactly what it is.
Huh. I have learned something today. I mean, we presume we don't know, but that sounds about right.
It's very logical.
It sounds right enough that I am going to say it again on stream.
Mm-hmm. All right, Turtle Rock, here we go.
I mean, Turtle Rock, blue armor, man, this is kind of a sickly seed, all things said. He's only got 8 hearts so far. 1 bottle, or 2 bottles now.
Yeah. So we have a comment in chat, thinking it's surprised that Sine is choosing Turtle Rock over Skull Woods. He's probably playing. He's playing item density at this point now.
Yeah, I mean, as we said earlier, there's 8 items total that unlock throughout completing Turtle Rock. You know, the 5 that are in here, Mimic Cave, plus the 2 from the Pyramid Fairy, versus the 2 in Skull Woods. Now, you know, just playing the percentages, of course you're going to want to come here. It just makes sense. However, there's some other things that you could probably be thinking as well, like hoping that there's nothing up here in Turtle Rock. I think if I had to guess, I would say that Pyramid Fairy location is probably the tipping point. But also, you were just handed access to everything. And there's a shovel.
There's a shovel. And I believe that is the final fetch quest that we need.
Yeah, that's every fetch quest.
All we have left to do is actually get Bombos tablet check, which, in theory, could happen after Turtle Rock.
Okay, so Plasma is actually showing us something new. He found half magic in Skull Woods.
Ooh.
One of the 2 items in Skull Woods. Only has 1 sword, so got the first sword and then noped out of the purple chest, which Chloe is doing and got the 2nd sword there.
And we're going to get our Bombos check. Alright, so we are still on the hunt for a hookshot and a flute. This could be an instance where the hookshot is in Ganon's Tower, considering we do not need it for Swamp Palace as of yet.
Just a big 20 on Bombos and a Gina's Cave. I don't actually think we checked the Gina's Cave earlier.
I don't think anybody's checked it, no.
With as many things that were in those early Sphere 1 locations, it should be interesting.
Watch it be a sword.
It's the hookshot!
It's the hookshot! Oh, boy!
What? So, everyone has skipped this.
Wow. So, things are looking grim for Sine if he doesn't get the chicken coop. Because that hookshot has opened up all 6 items that are in Swamp Palace.
And to think it's always been available from the beginning. Also, apologies to everyone's ears.
Yeah, you're fine. Mimic Cave check. So we are a flute and potentially a Quake medallion away from Go mode.
And Plasma showing us.
Oh, here we go. Ah!
Wah, wah.
It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm so excited, one, Chloe's able to show us the rest Hookshot Cave, but also Hookshot is a required item. You cannot get past the last ledge after Moldorm 2 in Ganon's Tower without it. And because it's kind of the last item check, it could theoretically be anywhere in Ganon's Tower, which means a lot of runners will gamble if they don't have it yet and haven't needed it, that it is in Ganon's Tower, requiring almost a Ganon's Tower double dip. So Chloe fighting it in that Sphere 1 location is significant.
Yep. And we will let our viewers know that when we are talking about this, we are always talking about without using glitches at all. We are aware that it is possible to do this without the hookshot. you have to know how to do a technique called hovering. But we have to presume not everybody can, because it is fairly difficult.
I can count on one hand the number of people I know in the community who are capable of hovering consistently enough to pull it out in a race sort of format. It is a very, very difficult trick to do.
Yeah, I think the quick version of it is that you have to dash. You have to hold your dash for 29 frames and let go for 1. It's basically, it's frame perfect every time you want to try to do it.
Frame perfect for every, step or two that you want to do. All right, Sinhei is on his way to the back. The only thing that he's found up to this point in time has been that shovel.
Vanilla flute, maybe? I mean, we've had one vanilla item so far. Why not a second one?
I mean, sure, why not? And Sinhei is now fighting Trinex using hammer strats. He leaves a little bit of a mess on the floor, and that really makes this ice side difficult.
Plasma Kappa with the Turtle Rock play.
Roach seems to be on his way. Yeah, he's trying to get over here to Agina's cave as well. So Roach is going to be the second one with that hook shot.
Oh, no! Oh, he had a fairy. Okay. Whew. I did not see when he picked up that fairy to bottle, but thank goodness he had it.
I think that was one of the items he ended up picking up here. And just a vanilla heart container in Trinex. So up to this point in time, Turtle Rock is not proven to have anything of value, although we still have that Pyramid Fairy location to check as well.
Yep, and the dig spot.
So Chloe making the same play up here to Turtle Rock. Again, it's not necessarily a bad play. It's a high-density spot. Sinhei is... What is Sinhei doing now?
Likely picking up his big bomb.
Oh, right. And this makes sense with Sinhei's plays up to this point in time. Following through with the gambles that he's making. Full committing to them.
Nice. Getting the damage boost off to get the dash with the bomb.
Well, and there's the second item that I may have missed earlier in Swamp Palace. Half magic and another bottle with green goo.
Mm-hmm. Skullwoods.
Skullwoods, right.
We knew what you meant.
I can words.
Here we go.
A tempered sword and a bug net. I mean...
Well, that's value, because that's a significant power increase for the sword.
It's nice. It's not what Sinhei was hoping for, but it's still nice.
So, being that we've cleared everything out, of every dungeon that does not require the flippers, things are looking pretty grim. Desert Palace is open.
Desert is open, so, and we haven't touched that yet. It is a pendant, so it's kind of the low man on the totem pole in terms of priorities.
I think we might be seeing it. I think what we're gonna get, I think we're gonna get a Bombos check into Desert and a Gina.
What worries me about this is that Sinhei's already been over here once to check the Desert Ledge and then didn't check Agina while he was here.
Never mind.
No, okay.
Somebody in chat says he might go to Swamp. He has no flippers.
Yeah, flippers are in the chicken hut. So, all right, this is Roach is now on Mothula. This is just going to be for a crystal. We already know both items in Skullwoods. Very nice work of a moth who really didn't want to get off that wall. And here's the shovel turn in. Oh, he's routing. He hasn't checked Stumpy yet.
Oh, that makes sense. Big 20.
Yeah, so at this point...
Oh, he's equipping the fire rod. I think he's going straight to Skull.
Yep, that makes sense. Roach with his pedestal check, so gains that knowledge. At this point in time, the dungeons we have not touched yet. Swamp Palace, Ice Palace. We can't even get into Misery Mire. But it's effectively down to Swamp, Ice, or Desert.
The one time where you're like, okay, good, I don't need to do any of the pendants. You have to do a pendant. Which one do you do? Swamp has the highest item density at 6. Ice has 3. Desert has 2, with the green pendant makes 3. Desert is the fastest. Swamp being, I would say, second fastest, Ice being the slowest. But that's also depending on the layouts.
More importantly, you're only really looking for one item to be in go mode. You need the flute. So do you go with locations that have a few chests in the front and hoping to get lucky, or do you go with the highest density, like you said, with Swamp? It's kind of a crapshoot. And more than that, the calculations change whether or not you have that hook shot that's over there in Agina's cave. I think Swamp would be much more attractive for Chloe and Roach right now than it would be for Sinhei and Plasma.
Yep. And chat does point out, we definitely need flute for go mode, but that might not be go mode. Could still be looking for the Quake medallion, but first things first, we need to get that. We need to get to the point where we get that knowledge.
All right, Sinhei going immediately back. I think this is the logical play to go ahead and kill the boss, because if he drops an item, that's one less treasure chest you have to open.
He actually has already gotten both items.
Oh, has he? Okay.
Yeah, he has half magic and his 4th bottle.
Herp a dirt.
Although, but what you're saying definitely has merit. Go to the back, defeat the boss, and go back front.
Chloe did take a death, meanwhile, to Trinex. Trinex hurts quite a bit.
Yeah, especially having to resort to hammer strats, since Master Sword does way less damage.
and ran out of magic as well. Plasma has half magic, and so it's a little bit easier for Plasma, even with all this mess that Trinex is making on the floor. Bad Trinex.
All right, Sine, where are you going?
This is still anybody's race. We still do not have a dot done. That's to be expected. We're only about an hour 10 into this race, and despite the jetty nature of this early part of the seed, this has kind of led us a little bit on a hunt for this wonderful flute, hasn't it?
Yep, I agree. I'm just like, where is it at? I'm just trying to rack my brain where I would be hiding.
Now, Sinhei checking this desert or graveyard ledge. I believe we just saw another runner check that, so I'm pretty sure it's not here. I believe it's a shield upgrade.
You are correct.
And our wonderful restreamer, the Fear Agent, in chat saying left side swamp. That's his prediction. Left side swamp is, of course, the most skipped portion of any dungeon ever. That would be horrible and amazing. Sinhei pulling out the book like he's going desert now. Finally, we're going to see something new.
Something we get to report on. Yay! Let's see if this fruition's off. Even if now I saw a comment in chat, it's like he would do desert over swamp because no flippers and then wouldn't want to sequence break ice. The most logical play is actually to do desert from a routing standpoint.
Desert over to swamp, over to ice.
Yeah, desert to swamp to Saha to ice.
Oh, and there's the big key,
because you got the green pendant, so.
Yep, that makes sense. I'm not picking up what you're putting down. Yeah. So this big key treasure chest is going to lead to a small key, which is going to lead to 2 items over here on the right side of desert.
Very likely 1 item and a compass. Just my luck. And hopefully if Sene routes this properly, he should get his hook shot after this.
Oh, Chloe taking another death on Trinex. You gotta feel for Chloe at this situation.
Yeah, hammer Trinex is not fun.
And actually, it was both items. Neither of them worth anything, per se.
Wow.
Question in chat, why do people insist on killing the fire one first when the ice is the one giving the trouble? Largely because the fire one is the head that kind of sneaks out first, so it's the first one you can damage. So in the perfect speedrunning world, that is going to be the one that that you kill first because you can save time. The less time you're spending not doing damage, the better.
Yep. And I might be wrong on this, but I think think if it's just the fire head remaining, he kind of goes into spastic mode where it's like he's just a lot faster, so harder to hit. But that might be due to the entities that are on screen at the time, as opposed to him being just like alone.
At this point, I'm most worried about Chloe's mental state. You get tilted when you take multiple deaths like this. Powering through this is the most important thing that Chloe can possibly do right now from a runner's perspective.
Alright, mold the worm down.
Ring pendant. Now, Sinhei can't really go over and do swamp right away, so do you think he's going to turn this green pendant in right away?
I think so. After grabbing his hook shot, of course.
Well, he'll be happy to see the hook shot, although he might also be really upset to see the hook shot.
I was going to say, I think I'd be more upset than happy. Like, I could have had this. No. And then he'll see the hook shot, then he'll be like, "Where are my flippers?" Yeah.
A few rage slashes. Yeah, there's a few rage slashes there.
You know, I feel real bad now if Senei's gonna go check Hookshot Cave, of course. And no, can't brute force the well, you could try to brute force the Spike Cave if he wanted. Oh gods. Spike Cave hasn't been checked yet.
Spike Cave has not been checked yet.
And it's not in logic.
Not in logic at all.
Oh wow. Huh. I really don't know how to feel about this. Yep. And somebody in chat said the one thing I was thinking, what's his reaction going to be once he gets the flippers?
Well, I mean, that tells me that if he comes up here and there's nothing here, he's going to know he missed something somewhere. Because I think at this point, he's out of locations. At least from a logic perspective.
Yeah, I believe you are correct. I think he's hit everything.
Data Plet in chat. Bombos than Ether the Hut. Yeah. It does look like Sinhei's going to go over and absolutely try to brute force.
Oh, lords. He's going to try it. If this is the flute, that's humongous. And he got the fairy he needed, so he has the health.
Yeah, the four corners, or the cardinal directions of those bushes have an increased likelihood of having a fairy, so he could bank on that. And he's got his blue goo ready to go.
Yep. I believe without the hook shot, I believe it's a 13 heart. I believe you take 13 hits to get through this cave with no invulnerability. Ah, just a piece of heart. That would have been huge. That would have been huge.
It would have been, and hats off to Sinhei for the gamble, but not the case. What do you do, Sinhei?
Turning in the pendant.
Okay, I mean this could still be huge.
Oof.
Oh, Roach.
I think Roach has his fairy. Yeah, he's good.
Okay. Man, Trinex has killed
Bomb
just about everyone.
upgrade. It's in a flipper's required location.
wah, 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 wah. Yes, we are missing Flute for Go mode, although if Misery Mire ends up being the Quake Medallion, then, you know, we go next door to the
here we
shed.
go. Plasmas and ice.
Oh, boy.
Dene's going ice as well. He's going to fake Flipper in.
I kind of just want it to be...
Actually, no, I'm wrong. He never checked Ice Rock Cave.
All right, so Plasma's there. Senhei, what you gonna do now?
Oh, he's setting up Water Walk. He's gonna break into ice.
Yep, he's got the Water Walk going. And yeah, he's breaking into ice, man. If it's in...
Wait.
Oh!
Oh! Wait. Oh yeah, he never did Waterfall.
Yeah, he's been waiting on these flippers, so now he's absolutely, you know, sequence breaking those.
Oh, Roach didn't get enough. And there you go. That's why it requires 13. That's why it requires 14 hearts. You take 13 ticks of damage.
Chad asks, what's in Chicken Hut? It is the flippers in Chicken Hut. Keep in mind, Senhei avoided Kakariko early, and then once he got to Kakariko, found the Moon Pearl early and well, and noped out because he had Dark World access at that point. So he skipped. He eventually came back to Kakariko, just never got around to doing Chicken Hut.
Ten vampire skewers. Okay, Senhei. Do you check the one location? Do you have a? Are you beelining to the Chicken Hut?
He looks to be heading in that direction.
He beeline to it. Oh, let's see the rage.
At least one bomb. At least one bomb. No.
His brain probably just 404'd.
Looks like he is setting up going to Swamp, yeah.
And so far, it's looking like to be the correct play.
A lot of treasures opened up. No flute yet for Plasma. Roach is getting ready to find his tempered sword as well.
Well, the one thing we can potentially hope for here is the for Misery Mire would be what we affectionately call the God Mire. That'll at least put some salvageable notice into this seed for Senhei at least.
Question in chat. Yes, PED has already been checked. It was maximum health increase, so it was a full heart container. Ooh, Roach. Roach, what are you doing?
I think he's going to Swamp.
He's going to be right
on
Senhei's.
Going to Swamp.
Oh, man, we got ourselves a bit of a race here. Plasma still does not have hookshot in Agina's cave.
Oh god, this is gonna be hard to watch here between everybody. Oh, there's the big key. Oh man.
No. I don't know how many items we found here yet.
I only recall seeing one so far.
So many keys! Why are there so many keys in Ice Palace?
There's only 3. It's not like Pod where there's 6. No, you want the dungeon that, like, why are there all these keys? That's Meyer.
Flute! Oh my god!
We are in go mode! No, we are not in go mode. We're in no mode. Plasma Kappa still needs to go see Agina.
He's still looking for the hookshot. Oh no!
Alright, we are officially in no mode.
So all of these runners are going to be counting their items until they get to 6.
And they're going to nope out.
Oh my goodness.
If Plasma Kappa can capitalize and head over to Agina, that will skyrocket him into the lead. However, it would be a Master Sword versus a Tempered Sword. So that lead will slowly dwindle. And we still don't know if Quake is required.
Yeah, if...
Oh god, Quake and Swamp. Oh, that would be sick.
Why do you wish this upon our runners?
I didn't wish it, I just said it would be sick.
You brought the idea to light.
I wasn't the only one thinking it. I know half the people in chat were thinking it as well.
Chat is cruel, and you should know this by now.
I know, that's why I went ahead and just brought it up.
Alright, so Plasma saves and quits as soon as defeating it. Didn't even bother to pick up the pendant. Don't waste the fanfare.
Smart move.
Yeah, Ped was checked, so we know it's not that. Oh, Sinhei doing poke strats. That's always fun to see.
I don't know how to do that consistently. I need to learn that.
Yeah, I want to learn that more than I want to learn hovering, if I'm completely honest. Because you fight Argus a whole lot more than you have the opportunity to hover.
A little late in switching the audio for the anthem there. Alright, Plasma, get us our knowledge.
And here's the rough thing. He is right next to the hookshot.
He doesn't know it. Okay, let's see. Bombos!
Alright, we're good.
That is officially no mode.
In the plus side, Plasma has access to pretty well everything else. That's a curse at this point in time. Sinhei gets... Apparently he has the Butter Sword now.
Wow. Not much of a damage increase from Master to Tempered, from Tempered to Gold, but Gold Sword's still pretty good. Hey, Red Mail.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll take that.
See, the real problem for Plasma, even though he seems to be in better shape, is that because we know where the hookshot is, he could very well go through, again, all of Ganon's tower hoping to find it, and it's just not going to be where he wants it to be.
Honestly, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think he'll remember that he never checked Agina after he completes Meyer. We can only hope.
Oh, Signum's pointing out, because of where the flute was found in Ice Palace, it was locked behind a hookshot location.
Right. That was something I was gonna actually bring up. I forgot what was in the first chest. So I think so we'll see if he Godmires this, we'll know. And actually, if that's the case, if he Godmires this, he then knows by proxy that Hookshot cannot be in Ganon's tower. So we'll see.
We'll see if he knows. Sinhei found all 6 items in Swamp and says, really? Really? I'm going over here to Ice.
Was that the big key I just saw?
I believe it was.
That is a Godmire.
It is. And is he going north as soon as he gets this key?
He is not. Alright, he is not aware of the logic standpoint.
Big shout out to Signums in chat for pointing that out.
Oh,
I had forgotten.
Wait.
Oh.
Maybe not. I think he might be thinking he might need the second key, but he might have been thinking that was a small key door. Nope, he's going. Alright, so if he goes straight to Agina, then we know for certain.
Sinhei working his way through Ice Palace in the meanwhile. It's just kind of a straight line run at this point, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, unfortunately, the flute being in the iced tea... Was it an iced tea room? No, it was in the spike room.
Yeah. Will Plasma check Big Bomb? If I had to guess, no. Which means that it's not just Master Sword versus Tempered. It's Master Sword versus Butter for these other runners at this point. Roach, instead of doing Ice Palace, going over here to Desert.
Let's be honest, nobody likes doing ice, especially as a pendant.
I mean, that's absolutely true.
And when it's a crystal, we tend to just go mode it.
We put it off to last. Like, can I go above this, please?
All right, here we go. No, Plasma's going back in.
Oh,
so he is
boy.
not. So he is not aware of the logic.
I mean, that is our 7th crystal, so there is a game we do like to play
go
here.
Ahead and put your numbers in. It's gonna be a while before we go, but go ahead.
1 through 22. There are 22 treasure chests in Ganon's Tower. Guess which number is going to contain the Ganon's Tower big key? Yeah, it might be a little bit before we get over there. Plasma. And Sinhei finds his flute.
He is in go mode.
What guess are you going to make, dude?
I usually go with the number 13, personally.
Not bad, not bad. I like number 9 myself.
So when we get to the Ganon's Tower, when we officially start counting for Ganon's Tower, it will be the first runner who steps foot in that we will use. So just for clarification's sake for everybody, even though Plasma was the first one to enter the 7th crystal, he is not in go mode and he's not going to enter Ganon's Tower just yet. Question in chat, what's with the chest in the church? That is the final item from the escape sequence. And since the start of the game, we knew at the point after getting every single item that we knew that that chest was, in fact, the map. So the runners who have realized that are never going to open that chest because it's just a wasted second.
Chloe finally getting Trinex down, coming over here.
All right, another question in chat. So is anyone in the lead? Here's the interesting thing we have about this. Sine is officially in go mode, and this is going to be a Godmire. Plasma Kappa has all 7 crystals, but is missing the hook shot, which is literally just a hop over to the light world away. So it'll be, does Sine defeat Vidi first, or does Plasma pick up the hookshot first? Whichever one of those two events happen first, that runner will then be in the lead, albeit very slightly. But the edge will definitely go to Sine because he has the golden sword against the master sword.
I tend to agree myself, and Sinhei is about to pick up his big key.
Uh-oh, Plasma doesn't realize he forgot Agina.
This is not looking good. So Plasma right now is on his way up. He's going to Ganon's tower. He will be the... Wait, what?
No, he's not. Okay.
Plasma hasn't checked.
I don't think he did the Smith chain. No, he did the Smith chain. That's how he got his master. What didn't he check?
Oh, bumper ledge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a valid check, but there's nothing there. Another question in chat, has anybody finished? No, we've had no finishers.
Big 20 there for Plasma, so I think at this point he's going up.
Sine with the spooky action glitch.
I do enjoy this glitch. It's a relatively new glitch that was found kind of halfway through the spring tournament. 30 years later, we're still finding glitches in this game. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah. Smart move, grabbing the mirror instantly. Ah, Plasma doing Spike Cave. Brute forcing.
Oh, and he picked up the cape.
Oh, he has the cape, and he's in logic. I can see why he thinks this.
And ladies and gentlemen, we do have our first runner to finish Data World. Finished in first place with a time of 1:38.45. And let me tell you, anytime you're in a seed where the first place finisher finishes at 1:38, that's kind of a torturous seed there. But
I think Sine is going to be the first one into GT just by the fact that Plasma has to go the long way.
Yeah, it's going to be super close. Sinhei's just going to have to figure out which key, to find the big key. Plasma is still going to be hunting for something that isn't going to be there. Worth noting, remember, it's the first one into Ganon's tower that we will count the number of locations. So even if there's a left-right split from these two, we will be going based on Sinhei here.
And here we go. Sinhei going pure left. So Bob's torch, heart piece. Plasma going right.
Plasma does find a small key, so he can go full right side.
Yep.
And Sinhei, using those Dark Magician strats, got to that room and then is going over here to the right side.
All right. So that's chest number 6 and number 7 right there. Yeah, so this is one of those rare instances where we do have a differing count based on who's doing what. So we are going off of Sinhei and not Plasma. Well, chest what is going to be 7 through 11, nothing.
Isn't that just 7 through 10?
I'm sorry, yeah, 7 through 10. I'm sorry, that's 8 through 11. Bob's Torch, Stelfo's Room, that's 5. Hope Room, 6 and 7. 8, 9, 10, 11. I'll be honest, this is the first time I'm actually counting a DM strat.
Yeah, I know, right?
And for those of you who are wondering what is the Dark Magician strat, there's a runner of the randomizer Dark Magician, and he basically, that's the route he runs. Sometimes it pays off, and sometimes it doesn't.
The idea is to maximize.
Wow, they're going pure. They're going full right. Wow. So chest number 12 has the blue boomerang. Rip Bob, but Bob's brother comes back, so we're okay there.
The spirit of Bob haunts a nearby victim. Still nothing. So full right side.
So 13, 14, and 15 will not have anything. I think it's safe to say we're probably going to get the same chest opening numbers now, but we'll soon see. Plasma quickly nopes out, realizing he cannot continue.
I mean, it could have been in tile room.
Oh, you're right.
But he is opting to go. Oh, he's going into swamp.
Oof.
Not in Firebar room, so it's either
That's 16.
Fire Snake room or Rando room. Or the ever-present awesome room, tile room.
This is a hard trick for me to get the boomerang dash into the hook shot, but
No one likes it. Well, I mean, lots of people like it, but yeah, I have a hard time with it.
That's kind of cool. And Roach is in the tower. If Roach goes pure left, he'll at least save some time. There it is.
That is number 17.
17. Well, I know a friend of mine who would have loved that.
And you know what? That would have been number 9 if they would have taken an actual vanilla route. Thanks, Sinhei. Thanks.
Wow. Good job, chat. No one guessed it.
Shout out to Bonta, finished in second place with 145.34. Just now getting a second place finish, and Sinhei's right there climbing the gauntlet here.
I am incorrect, actually. There was a 17 guess. I guess it fell off in my chat that I didn't see. GG Airhawk. And Unbacho. Unchabo. Sorry, I said that completely wrong.
Yeah, and for everyone asking, the bot is only active for tournament races. These are the dailies, which is fine. We're just going to keep it friendly. We're not going to keep track of anything. Just be okay.
Nice friendly competition. Alrighty. I love seeing that Wizard room.
Oh yeah, it's always satisfying to know that, and I didn't even realize that was the designated purpose of it. Something like the Cane of Samaria.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Lunchtime ATH finished in third place at 147.41, so we're starting to get some finishes here, pretty close.
Chloe just now getting ready to enter GT. Roach starting his gauntlet. Sinhei coming up on Trollworm 2.
You know, Sinhei had some really interesting routing. Keep in mind, remember how long he skipped Kakariko Village and how long he waited to get both the hookshot and the flippers in those very easy to get locations, but still, he might be pulling out a top 5 finish, which is great for a daily race.
Yep. And unfortunately, this daily has claimed a victim. We've had a forfeiture, unfortunately. And now it's time for everyone's favorite game, doing math with Agadim.
We just got the single there, had an opportunity for a double.
And blue balled.
I hate it.
I think that might have been a double. I think it was spread out just enough.
That one was absolutely
that was definitely a double. No, it was a single. That's 5. He's got it. Or not.
That early blue ball. The double blue ball.
Wow. Oh, man. Thanks, Aga.
And now we progress to Mr. Blue Beacon himself, Ganon. He's got pretty much everything you could possibly want for this fight, doesn't he?
Yep. 14 hearts, blue mail, golden sword, silver arrows, half magic. Right as rain. Probably would like to have a little more than 4.5 hearts, but that's okay.
Sinhei is one of the better runners in the community, so I think 4.5 hearts, he'll be fine.
Yeah. Especially since it's only 6 slashes per phase with the golden sword.
Plasma. Still looking around for that hook shot.
Oof.
Chloe begins their ascent. Sinhei, no damage. Already about to start phase 4.
Yes, Ganon, we found the arrows in Hyrule Castle. Setting up for the triple. Got it.
And GG Sinhei, what a great race, showing us that sometimes doing the different strats can absolutely pay off. He crosses the bridge and finishes with an official time of 1:51:38. GG Sinhei.
All right. Let's see if we can get him in for an interview.
Plasma. Oh no. Plasma's coming up and doing the tile room. Still looking for that hook shot.
Ugh.
Meanwhile, Roach is on Ganon as well, so kind of right behind everyone. Roach just had really solid routing. He was kind of behind some of the other runners in Chloe and Plasma there for a while in terms of the straight execution, but he just had superior routing, and that got him into a solid place right now.
It was just a piece of heart.
Roach there with the kill.
Before we say this, we did have, I don't think we said this, but we had a Sinhei with a 4th place time, 1:51:38. Drist, AK Drist, 5th place, 1:52:14, and then Roach, 6th place, 1:53:40.
Yep, GG to everyone so far, and I believe we are now joined.
Yes, you are indeed.
Oh, GG's.
Yeah, GG.
So let's talk about Chicken Hut for a second.
Well, that was really unfortunate. I lost my stuff when I saw the flippers there. Oh boy. I mean, that wasn't the only thing that literally grinded my gears. The hookshot as well, which I could have had after taking the desert ledge. And then the misgamble on Swamp kind of threw me off in the end. So from there on onwards, my execution was kind of terrible. I mean, my early game started off pretty strong though.
Yeah, the early game avoiding Kakariko, when as soon as we saw what all was in Kakariko from the other runners, we were excited. We were like, hey, as soon as he ends up getting to Kak, he'll be able to route right into Dark World, and then you like avoided it like the plague for a while.
I was pretty much gambling the lower half of Kakariko, especially yeah, the Chicken Hunter and the Sick Kid, for a very long time. Well, it had potential to be a good seed, but that flute in the end, I think, was the major thing that threw me off here. I thought about sequence breaking Ice Palace at some point, but I just didn't do it. Because due to my experience, Pendant Swamp is more likely to have progression, even if it's not required.
Well, to be fair, you weren't the only one. Just about everyone got hung up on the hook shot, at least on this, on the review. We didn't see hook shot until well into the seed, and noted that it was well after you had already checked the desert ledge. Plasma Kappa was the first one into desert. However, he only just now found the hook shot, so he went from having a great little advantage there to being kind of bringing things up in the rear right at the moment. But man, this was, it was so front loaded with so many things in that early part of the seed. I can't blame you guys for thinking, oh no, there can't be anything in Akina's cave. Nothing else could possibly be in this sphere.
Well, I basically forgot about it. Not that there isn't anything or gambling it. I just didn't think about it. I just got my Master Sword. I knew I could full clear Turtle Rock at that point. So that seemed to be the more likely play for progression for me at that point in time. So I just skipped it by accident. Usually I just take it regardless of whether I do desert or not. But in this particular case, I just had Turtle Rock on my mind.
Well, with all the items that it was throwing at you for Turtle Rock, I mean, you got Fire and Ice Rod almost right away. Hammer was right away. I mean, it felt like the seed was pointing you towards Turtle Rock. It just didn't really have anything.
Yeah, well, I think Fairy was the best you could get out of there. Well, at least you got the Tempest Sword from the double-chested Fairy, so I guess that kind of makes it worthwhile. But other than that, yeah, pretty much a bust. At least in this seed.
Well, GG on your win, regardless. We're getting ready to get some other runners in here, but you getting ready to take part in the qualifiers for the fall tournament?
Oh, certainly. Certainly, I can't miss out on that though. Lots of people to run against and compare myself to against. So I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully all the matches I actually signed up for will be, in quotation marks, larger matches than just 6 or 10 people.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, there's Roach.
Yeah, GG, Roach788. Good job, man.
GG.
I'm surprised with basically 100%ing the game that I was still 6.
Yeah, the locations of some of these items were just outright cruel.
I had overworld 100% done. There's nothing left to check. 6 crystal dungeons were done. I'm like, alright, which pendant dungeon to dive? And it was the last one. It's always the last one.
Makes you feel any better? You weren't the only one?
3 of you guys dipped swamp.
Yeah, the only person who did not dip, because everyone came down to the same inflection point, right around the same point, Swamp or Ice Palace. Plasma dipped Ice, everyone else dipped Swamp. The only problem is Plasma didn't have the hook shot, so he had been running around trying to remember where exactly it was. But GG, I mean, what are your thoughts on the seed overall?
It was not a bad seed. It made routing flow very well for Overworld, I think. So that was kind of nice. It's not like oh, you can't check this because you don't have this, can't check that because you don't have that. Play the seed. And bow start is always good to have.
And GG to Chloe Prower, recovering from a fall to finish in 13th place with an exact official SRL time of 2 hours and 1 second. GG, Chloe. So how about you, Roach? Are you signed up for the qualifiers yet?
Qualifiers? What qualifiers? I'm not aware of this actually yet.
What?
Please, tell me more.
Why, I'd be happy to. So, the fall Link to the Past Randomizer tournament is getting ready to start. We're prepping up. I don't know if you guys were around for the spring tournament, but we had to the tune of 512 people sign up for it, plus a bunch of alternates ready to jump in. That was a little bit overwhelming. So, for the fall tournament this year, we are going to be having qualifier runs, and the dates for the 15 separate qualifier runs are all available over on our Discord. You should absolutely go check those out. You have to be able to run in 5 of the 15 qualifiers in order to have a time, and then I need to pull up what are the top certain numbers are going to advance into the next round.
Top 96. Yeah, top 96, they're going into multiple groups of 6.
So you should get on that. And, you don't have to be a pro to take part in the qualifiers. A scrub like myself is absolutely going to take part in the qualifiers, fully expecting to get eliminated. That's fine. The top tier runners want some scrubs in there to bring down the times. It's okay. Plus, there's only one way to get good, and that's to be bad first.
You only get gooder by playing more.
It's absolutely true. We're going to see if we can get Chloe up in here. And joining us now on stream is Chloe Prower. GG, Chloe.
GG. Hello.
So there were some really interesting inflection points from our perspective on the seed. How about you tell us about your perspective and what you saw?
Well, I was having a lot of fun, and I was at 4 dungeons complete by like 50 minutes in, and then I went into Turtle Rock. And yeah, if I had cleared Trinix, like even after 1 or 2 deaths, I felt like I could have caught up like 20 minutes of time.
Wait, you had a sword that early?
No, Smith was my first sword at like 52 minutes. Because I went to Turtle Rock before going to any left side Death World, or Dark World. And I found Titan's Mitts, and I found Boots, and Boots allowed me to clear TT real fast, and then doing the Smith loop was 2 swords.
Yeah, we were struck by how many people put off doing the left side of the Dark World, Thieves Town, Village of Outcasts, Skullwoods. I mean, you had the Fire Rod relatively early. Just put off the entire left side for a lot later than I think anyone I've seen for a while.
It was hard to resist Pod EP. That was just given to you right at the start. I mean, both of them were full clearable in logic at like 15 minutes. So it's like, well, sure, if you're gonna give it to me.
It's true, hard to argue with that. The main sticking point seemed to be around the hook shot being over there in Agina's cave, which A lot of people skipped for one reason or another. And then that flute, which was in Ice Palace, of course, in the backside of Pendant Ice.
There wasn't a small key in Ice, was it? So it was hookshot locked. At least not early. I'm trying to think. No, there was one in Ice Tea Room. So I guess it technically wasn't hookshot locked, so hookshot could have been anywhere in the seed. Because boots we got on Death Mountain and hookshot wasn't needed for anything besides Moldorm 2.
Absolutely, and it led to some interesting things. Plasma Kappa just ended up finished. He is about to cross the bridge, and we'll see if we can't pull him in. We've got some words for Plasma.
I'm just gonna watch the 20 minutes where I'm dying over to Trinox.
That admittedly was painful.
I agree. I mean, I've never had so much trouble with Master Sword Trinox. Like, even when I was starting the game, I just don't know why I couldn't do it today.
You're getting all of your bad runs out of your system now, so when the qualifiers come around, it's nothing but pro strats, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go practice that later, I think. Just because... Oh, that was awful.
Yeah, my goal is just to try and make it past the qualifiers. I fell a hair short last fall tournament. I was 4-1 and ended 4-3. So I didn't even make it to the brackets.
Oh, yeah, I was really close to. I think I ended 4-3. And my last run was a PB, it just wasn't fast enough. It was like a 130 PB, too.
I've had some very strong opponents I had to go to against. I was the underdog. I had to do like hour 30, hour 35 times for my wins.
Hookshot's only logically required for Ice if there's no small key on the first 3 chests, or the big chest if you find the big key on the left side.
Oh boy. Die to Sphere Zero. Again. The race.
Oh, GG Kappa. Yeah. So
full cleared.
So yeah, we actually got to start the big key guessing game when you got your 7th crystal, Kappa. You were right there, and it was right next door to you, and we knew where it was.
Yeah. And I even made a note to check it. I decided to check the cape instead. Seem very good at this game, yeah.
You are very good at this game. I mean, everyone has a brain fart every now and then, so you can't judge your abilities based on one run.
Yeah, that's a fun way to do it. Well, wow, those terrible mirror checks when you have the boots. Oh well.
I mean, Nagina was a weird spot for hookshot because we were pulled so far away from it for so long.
Yes, well.
I mean, it was just an amazing run, and this seed dumped so much on you guys so early, and everything was opened up to you. You know, it wasn't a linear seed at all. Everyone had access to just about everything. You just had to kind of make do and try to route things in together as efficiently as you can. Just forgetting one thing here and there will absolutely... sometimes it doesn't hurt you. This time, unfortunately, it did.
I mean, if that happened, I probably would have... I just would have commented, no swords forever. And I knew Hookshot could be in GT, so... Yeah, obviously I was gonna go with that.
Yeah, that was the presumption at that point in time, and we were worried that was what you were pushing towards, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, that just wasn't the case.
Fortunately, I counted all the... The keys are nice, but it was a pendant anyway, so...
All right. Well, is there any other kind of finishing thoughts from any of our runners as we're getting ready to wrap things up here?
0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. That's it.
I agree.
Don't die to try this. A lot.
Hey, well, we're gonna give you credit on that Trinex fight. You persevered through it as much as you could, and I'll tell you, hammer Trinex is not fun, especially with full magic meter.
It's just the reason it's so frustrating is because I could do it. It's just I didn't. But that's fine.
Well, I do want to thank you guys for putting on an amazing race. It was very close almost the entire way down, so you guys gave us a very good show. And with that, guys, that's going to end the daily race for the day. Again, stay tuned on the Speed Gaming Network. Again, there are a lot of different games. Go to speedgaming.org/schedule, and it'll give you the entire schedule of what's going on. We have the fall qualifiers coming up in 3 weeks, I think, starting October 1st through the 21st, leading into the fall tournament. We also have other dailies. We have daily races every day. Some of them restream, some of them not. It just depends on time of day and all that. With that, and I also want to thank the Speed Gaming Network for allowing us to having these races. I want to thank the chat because we wouldn't be here without you guys. I want to thank our trackers that we had. We had Sans and Kitty. And then I also want to thank my fellow commentator, Vatasia. Thank you for hanging out in the booth with me.
Oh, not a problem, Duke Firebird. It's always a pleasure getting to work with you and being a part of this community. It's a great community. And yeah, check us out on Discord, guys.
Yep. Please feel free to join the Discord. New player, if you want to try to get in, we'll definitely help you guys out. But with that, we'll catch you guys next rando.